So we have a top five. So this week, last week we did top five rookie seasons in the NFL. This week we're going to do our top five most memorable all-time sort of video games. And I'm going to let you go first. You're the video game guy. I mean, I still play video games. I'll admit it. Not as much as, other people, but, there's certain video games that I really enjoy that I play. And, for me, it's a way to sort of de-stress and kind of turn my brain off a little bit. But I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah, so I as you mentioned, I am a big video game player. Same reason. It's a mechanism that I use to de-stress. So I play a lot of video games, and I've always played a lot of video games since I was a kid. So I've got two honorable mentions that are just off the list, and that is GTA 5, which I've played a lot of, especially back when I was playing games on Xbox. I played a lot of that. I haven't played it as much since I got my PC, 8 years ago or whatever. But it is a very, very good game. The other game that is just off my list is Last of Us 1. The Last of Us 1. If you haven't seen the show, it's a great show based off of the video game. The video game is also stellar, and the second one is just as good. But The Last of Us is just off the list. Coming in at number 5, I just have my list right here. Coming in at number 5 is a game that I play with my friends regularly. And it's actually a newer game. It just came out this year. But I have some of the best moments and some of the best, funniest clips from playing with my friends, and that's Lethal Company. It's a game where you go to these different moons and collect scrap, and there's different monsters on the moon, and it's a horror game. It's like you're supposed to be scared. You're walking around these facilities in the dark, and then all of a sudden a monster pops out. It was a very fun game. Very fun game. At number 4, a single player game that I have replayed probably 4 or 5 times, if not more. And I've played the entire series through, like all the way through, at least once, if not twice. And that's Batman Arkham Knight. I've played that quite a few times. Such a fun game. I'll go back to that and play that every once in a while. But it's a very fun single player game, and I'm a big Batman fan. So at number 3 is, in my opinion, once again, another single player game. Best game in this series, and that's Fallout New Vegas. I know some people like Fallout 3, some people like Fallout 4. I think Fallout New Vegas is the best one in that series. Once again, the Fallout show, phenomenal.
It was.
And Fallout New Vegas is going to play a role in the next season. So that'll be very fun to see. I cannot wait for that. Number 2, once again, best video game in this series. When it comes to the series of video games that this belongs to, and that's Halo 3. Both the multiplayer and campaign of Halo 3 were phenomenal. The campaign was left you on the edge at the end, and you didn't know exactly what happened to the main character, Master Chief. And so that was just great. And then Halo's multiplayer was great. SWAT, and I have SWAT and other game modes in Halo 3. I have lots of different memories from that game. And then number 1 is, in my opinion, the best, the game that I've put the most hours in, and the game that I believe is the best competitive game in the world, and that's Counter-Strike. What is now Counter-Strike 2, but was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's a first-person shooter. It's the number 1 first-person shooter in the world. And in my opinion, it's one of the best competitive games. If you want a competitive environment, you want to try and improve. That's, in my opinion, the best game, and what I've put the most hours into out of any game.
So Some of those I knew, some of those I don't. It's funny. We definitely, when you talk about generational talent, there's definitely differences in generations. Um, so I've got two sort of honorable mentions as well. One of them is Batman Arkham. I'm a huge Batman fan. My favorite superhero. So that's when I started playing that game, it makes you feel like you could be Batman. Another one, honorable mention. I remember in high school playing Sega Genesis Contra, and you didn't have saves back then. You couldn't save your game. So I remember a buddy of mine stayed up all night and played that game and beat the game, and it was very rewarding at the time. And you had to know the tricks, and you had to know the moves and that sort of thing. So Contra, if you remember. But number 5 on my list is a game I actually just beat for the first time. Spent a lot of hours on it, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's very immersive. You can spend a lot of time on that map. The map is huge. If even if you're not into the old west or that sort of thing, it's a fun game. And if Rockstar, improves on that when it comes to GTA 6, I think it's gonna, between that and GTA 5, it's definitely going to GTA 6 is gonna be amazing. Number 4 on my list is Last of Us Part 1 also. I played both the games, beat both the games, but Last of Us 1 was one of the best games, I've ever played. I was very late to it. I played it when I knew the series was going to come out, and the series is phenomenal. And if you haven't seen it, even if you've never played the video game, go watch the series. Pedro Pascal. It's on HBO Max. It's an amazing series, post-apocalyptic, which I'm not really that into, and zombies and stuff. But that's not really what it's about. It's a character piece. It's family, father, daughter, that sort of thing. But yeah, Last of Us Part 1 was, that was, and there's a few times where I definitely got me on a jump scare. So number 3 on my list, and probably the game I spent the most hours playing, especially as an adult, is GTA 5. I beat that game at least 3 times. I've gone back and even done all the little side missions and everything else. GTA 5 was a game changer, as we all know. It came out more than a decade ago now. So, like I said, between Red Dead and GTA, if Rockstar improves on those games going into GTA 6, hopefully next year, I so look forward to that. But the GTA 5 to me was, like I said, it was a game changer, and it's such a fun game to play. And even GTA Online, playing it on PC is kind of stupid because everybody has mods and whatever. Playing it on, I play on PlayStation 5. It's a little bit easier. My number 2 game, which I'm surprised they didn't even make an honorable mention for you, is, I'm just going to say, the Madden franchise. So as much of a football fan as I am, I've bought Madden every single year since pretty much its inception. So I've played it all the way from, Sega Genesis all the way through to now the PS5. And I know everybody trashes it, and year after year, they talk about how there's no improvements and whatever else, but still, I'm a franchise guy. So I go in, I love to build my franchise. I love to, I'll take, I've taken the Patriots, rebuilt them. But sometimes I'll just go in and take a random team and just, see what I can do with them. But Madden to me is, and unlike some of the, these other games, being a 2-person game, like when you come over, or when we have family in town, your brothers, everything else, we're playing Madden. We've had Madden tournaments when we've been on vacation and stuff like that, and it's cool because we're all like different teams. My number 1 game, and this was a game that so I was 10 years old when this game came out, And I saved up enough money to buy the original 8-bit Nintendo in 1987. And, it came with Super Mario Brothers, which could probably be the original Super Mario Brothers, could probably be an honorable mention too. But when I got this game, I probably became the coolest kid on the block, and that's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And I tell you what, that game, I would say it almost changed my life, because like when I got that and I told my friends in school, and I was 10 years old, so third grade, I was like, hey, I got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Everybody wanted to come to my house and play it because nobody else had it. So, and it was so hard, especially as a 10-year-old to beat that game. And I don't think it was till I was like 12 or 13 when I actually ended up beating Mike Tyson. So and obviously he's still in the lexicon. Look, I mean, whatever, fight against Jake Paul. Jake Paul wasn't the one that brought the eyes to that thing. It was Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson's Punch-Out's my number one overall video game of all time. That's my list.
That's a good one. That's a good list. I know all of those games except for Mike Tyson Punch-Out. Never even heard of it. So.
You heard of Contra?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Castlevania is another good game that was back then.
Yeah. Lots of good games. Both older and newer. Obviously all the most of the Super Marios are great, and I've played almost all of them as well. So and Madden, you're right. Like we play Madden regularly whenever I come over, or Ethan or Ben comes over. So Madden was a good choice. I just don't play it enough by myself.
Yeah, see, I play it a lot by myself. Like I said, I'm a franchise guy, so I'm playing, building my team. And I know people my age that won't even play the game. They'll just simulate the games, but they just want to build their franchise.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll go out 20 years.
Yeah, I like I said, I just don't play it enough by myself. I play it, whenever I come over to your house. But yeah, I own it. Don't get me wrong, I own it, and I play it, but I just don't play it enough regularly.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about putting like Tiger Woods PGA back in the day. I played that a lot, but
yeah,
to me, it's just not as
just don't come back to it.
As a sports game. It wasn't as big as Madden to me, and I played, I played 2K, I played NHL, I played, golf, but, Madden to me is just, that's why I put it at number 2.